Welcome to Women's History Month. You just heard Scattered Light by Minnesota composer Mary Ellen Childs. Before we talk to the composer, I just wanted to remind you that the month is drawing to a close, and you have a chance to help me decide which pieces to play on my closing concert, which happens on March 29th at 3 p.m. at the Checkout here in Chicago. If you look in the notes below, you will see links to Buy Me a Coffee where you can select which piece you think you'd like to hear live and in person on that day. Please vote. You can also send me an email, however you like to do it. For now, let's talk to Mary Ellen Childs.
I grew up in Indiana and Wisconsin and have lived in upstate New York and New York City on and off a little bit and in central Illinois. But I came to Minnesota. Now it's been decades. I've been there a long time and I really, really love the city. Um, I am a composer and I sometimes think I started rather late compared to some of my friends and colleagues. I didn't start writing until I was at the end of my undergraduate degree in college, but I received a lot of encouragement and I really enjoyed it. And I went on and got a graduate degree in composition and I'm off to the races. These days, I call myself a composer and a multisensory artist because a lot of the work that I do includes other elements combined with the music. So I've done a lot of work with projected imagery, with movement for the performers, especially a whole body of percussion work that I've created where the movement for the percussionist is an integral part of the musical composition and performance. And then even more recently, I've really gotten into scent and combining the ear and the nose and what happens to our perception when we smell and hear at the same time. And I've really gone down a rabbit hole and learning a lot about fragrance and how our nose works and how those two perceptive senses have an impact on one another. And I've been incorporating that into some of my work. But I still love writing purely concert pieces and writing purely concert pieces. So all of the above.
Yeah,
I'm in Italy right now. I'm in Venice.
Oh my gosh,
And
that's so cool.
yeah.
What are you doing? Are you doing something musical or something personal?
Well, it's musical. I'm here on a residency through the Emily Harvey Foundation. So I'm here for 6 weeks. And it's a really wonderful residency program where they give the artists an apartment in Venice and let us be here to absorb the city, the inspiration, and do work. So I've got just the time has gone so fast, and I'm here just another week and a half.
How does a piece like start and then come into fruition? Yeah, I mean, if there is like one way, or I'm sure there's maybe multiple ways depending on the piece.
I think I'll just talk about this piece in particular, and then I'll kind of generalize. This piece was commissioned, and so a pianist was asking for a new piece. And I didn't know him well, but I knew what he had liked of my other works, and so I had that little, bit in my head to kind of start with. And I think I'm not sure I remember all the details of how this piece started, but I actually think I kind of sat down at the piano and started just finding a few things under my fingers. That's rare. I don't usually work that way, but in this case I did. And then, the ideas kind of flowed a bit from there. And then you kind of go back and forth in your mind, like instinct and thinking things out. And so, at a certain point you kind of see like what track am I on? And it's kind of this flowing material. And then you know, let it build and develop from there. The piece was written first, and then I went looking for the title, and that can vary too. Sometimes I have the title first, and then some ideas from the piece grow out of that. But this was the reverse. After the piece was written, I went looking for a title, and I found this phrase, "scattered light," which, first of all, just the images of scattered light are really beautiful. Literally, that phrase refers to the phenomenon of, in this case, a light particle as it interacts with other particles or phenomenon, it creates an optical illusion. So that's why the sky is blue. And that's why deep water, water has no color, but deep water can look blue or green or some other color. So that's what it means, and that's very interesting to me, how things interact and create something else, or create the illusion of something else. But also more poetically, scattered light, you think of reflected light or refracted light. And especially being here in Venice right now and being on the water or near the water all the time, I see a lot of reflections in the water, light bouncing off the water, being on the Vaporetto and the water is moving either in the wake of the boat or just because the water is flowing, and then seeing the lights of the city reflected in that and the colors changing and the flowing patterns of the water that are both patterned and sort of free flowing at the same time. It's just beautiful, and I actually have been filming the water some for a future project a couple years ahead. So I've really been paying attention to the patterns in the water and the light on the water, and especially at night, but also during the day. So it's been very much on my mind, some of the things that also played into this piano piece, Scattered Light.